Welcome to the Financial Freedom Podcast with your host, Lorna Poole, sharing the secrets to creating wealth, investing, and that all-important money mindset. To find out more and accelerate your journey to financial freedom, head on over to www.lornapoole.com to get started. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Financial Freedom Podcast. Are you looking to start a business, wondering how these people make it online, make it from nothing to big money? Well, my guest expert today is Bonnie L. Frank, and she's going to share with you how to start from nothing. She is a former teacher and college professor turned entrepreneur who built her thriving coaching business from scratch. She now coaches entrepreneurs worldwide to grow their online visibility, brand, and bank account through her business, fabulous podcasts, and daily social media and marketing tips. Bonnie, great to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Anyone starting off, they want to be where you are. They want to have a, six-figure business. They want to be bringing in income, doing their own thing, and they're starting from zero. What do you think about, or how do you even get there?
Well, first of all, it's 100% possible. I am here as proof positive that it is totally possible. I have no business training, and I have a thriving, growing, sustainable business as a business coach. So it's totally possible, but it does not happen overnight. You're not going to go from 0 to 6 figures overnight. And it's not going to happen without strategy and without effort. And people see people's Instagrams and, their filtered pictures, and they see whatever numbers people are posting online, all of which can be completely made up. And they see all of this, and they think that they're going to get all of that they can have all of that immediately if they only buy this course or if they only opt into that freebie. And neither of those things is going to get them there.
Yeah, I there's a lot of that out there. And, I remember me starting off, I remember a coach saying to me, I did a coaching course, and I worked with a coach from my course, and she was actually a very good coach. And I remember we hadn't really and we could talk about this later, but she didn't have a contract with me. We didn't have a solid agreement. It was kind of, we meet, I think it was every fortnight or something. And one day I piped up on the call, and I told her I was going to work with someone else, and I was going to have 6 figures in 9 months. And she what she had said at the time was very true. And I probably overlooked it, but it's kind of funny looking back, because it was also the way she had her structure that I jumped to. But that's another conversation. So tell us this, right? Someone starting off, I love that you said that you had no business training, that it's totally possible. And I love that you shared, it's not an overnight thing. It's strategy. It's how you're going about it. And, I can also relate to, Bonnie, what you were saying about, there's all these online courses for X, Y, and Z, and it's very hard to know what to invest in and what not to. So let's dig a bit deeper. I'm going to start off. I want to start my business. I want to start a coaching business. What would you say is the first thing you sort of need to be thinking about or putting in place?
The very first thing, and unfortunately it tends to go by the wayside because it's really hard work. The very first thing that I tell everybody is they need to know who their audience is. Mm-hmm. Even if you know who your audience is, you have to have something that is monetizable. You have to have something that you can sell, that is saleable. Not everything can be sold. There's not a market for everything out there. Just because you want to be a coach or just because you want to produce, whatever product, program, or service doesn't mean that somebody's going to want it. And you have to know who your people are and what they want and then give it to them. That is a business.
Yeah, and I've heard that before because, it makes so much sense. But I think, as you say, it's hard to refine. And in one step, it's easy. In another step, it's very hard. And sometimes the simple things are the most important things. And it's just too easy to overlook it. And when you are unclear about who your audience are and what they want, the monetizing doesn't come.
Correct. And all of the work that you're putting in, all of the hours that you're putting in are going to waste.
Yeah.
Because that has got to be in place before anything. It doesn't matter what you produce. It doesn't matter what you have for sale if there's no market for it and if you don't know who the market is. Because if you don't know who the market is, you don't know how to sell it to them. If you don't know who your target audience is, you don't know the copy to put, the words to put onto your social media posts. You don't know what to say in your videos. You don't know what to put in your blog posts or on your sales pages. Your ICA, your ideal client avatar, dictates all of that.
And if somebody's, okay, what's my audience? How do they pinpoint or how do they get very clear on that?
Well, I started from scratch. Once again, no business training, no social media followers. I had no money to invest. I also had zero support from friends, family, anyone. I did not have a coach. I wasn't taking a course, nothing. I started literally from scratch.
Wow.
And so I didn't have somebody telling me what ideal client avatar was and explaining it to me. I didn't even know there was such a thing as an avatar. I had to figure all of that out myself. And as I was figuring it out, I was working on it for about a year because I first had to learn there was such a thing and then teach myself what it was and create it. I thought I had it right around the 12-month mark, but I was still attracting people I did not want to attract. So I went back and worked on it again. And keep in mind, I'd been working on it for 12 months by myself.
But I think that's important to share as well. I find the more you get out there and do, the more you can refine it too.
Correct. And when you're working with somebody, it cuts down that learning curve dramatically. If somebody were working with me and guiding me along, I could have easily created my ICA within a week or two. Easily. I mean, that's what I do with my clients. But I didn't know what I was doing. So it took me a long time. So I went back to the drawing board at the 12-month mark, carved it out again. And 2 months later, I knew I had it because then I started attracting all the people I wanted to attract. And they were paying me.
Yeah.
That makes the difference.
Yeah, because, I love the way you said, who are your audience, give them what they want. It's so powerful and people don't realize it. And I know there's different ways that people do this, but I know one of them is, write out your ideal person.
Yes, absolutely. And it's crucial. And when I was trying to figure it out, I Googled, I Binged, I looked in books, I asked people, I tried to find a blueprint of a way that I could easily figure out who my ideal client was. And there was a bunch of stuff, but none of it was good, in my opinion. None of it really helped me. So I had to create my own.
Yeah, and right, so say you have your ideal audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you figure out the sellable item that's actually going to make you money, is actually going to work?
Right. So you create your ideal client avatar. That person is one person. And I have 12 simple questions to help people create that. Then from there, it dictates who your target audience is. It also dictates what you use in your copy, because if you know who your audience is, you know what they want. And if you know what they want, that's what you make.
Yeah.
If they want it, they will buy it.
Yeah.
But if you create something that they don't want, then they're not going to buy it. So everything comes from the ICA and the target audience. Everything.
And what does ICA mean?
That stands for Ideal Client Avatar. So some people say ideal client, ideal customer. And a lot of people use ICA, Ideal Client Avatar, and Target Audience interchangeably. They are not the same thing.
Okay, explain that.
I'm sorry?
Explain that, avatar and ideal audience. Why, target audience, sorry.
Correct.
Explain what you mean by that.
So the reason why it's called an avatar is because you're actually creating this person. You might start with a favorite person or a favorite client, maybe even a celebrity, somebody that has the qualities that you like. And you begin to describe that person. It is an avatar because you're creating it. It is an ideal client. It's one person. You're describing one person. Now, your target audience or your ideal audience, same thing. Your people also say that, who are your people? Your people are people who are similar to, but not exactly the same as your ICA. They have at least one quality that's in common with your ICA. They might have more. They probably do have more. But they have at least one quality that is similar. So your target audience or your ideal audience, that does not include your outliers. Outliers is kind of like when you throw spaghetti on the wall and occasionally it sticks. Usually it doesn't, but sometimes it does. An outlier is somebody who's going to end up buying your stuff at some point, maybe once in a lifetime, but they're not really in your audience. That's not really who you want to attract.
What about, a lot of online business also have a different level of program or, email campaigns that target different, so say we have our avatar, okay, we have our big program, it's making money. How much does strategy and marketing and all that stuff, that there's so many moving elements that entrepreneurs have to think about, make that whole wheel turn?
Yes, there are. And the people who make it look the easiest are the people who have the most strategy. And I will repeat that. When people see entrepreneurs online, or when they go to a program, they go to a presentation, they go to a conference and they hear somebody speak, the people who make it seem like it's so easy, those are the ones who plan the furthest in advance. Those are the ones who have strategy behind every single word on their website, behind every single thing they do, behind every single thing that they say. The people who make it look the easiest are the people who plan the most. It is not easy. People make it difficult. It's not easy to have a thriving business. The idea of a business, that's simple. Have something that people want and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. A lemonade stand's a business. So the idea of a business is very easy, but people make it very difficult because they produce things that nobody wants because they don't know who they're producing them for.
Say that again. They produce things that what?
They produce things that nobody wants because they don't know who they're producing them for.
Yeah, I would absolutely
You can create a wonderful course. I mean, I'm a former teacher. I can create courses with my eyes shut while I'm sleeping. And the first 2 courses that I created, nobody bought because that's exactly who I made them for. Nobody. I didn't know who my people were yet. And guess what? That's exactly who bought them. Nobody. Then, when I knew who my ICA was, I was able to easily sell every other product, program, and service that I created after that.
Yeah. And I love the way you shared about, these people who make it look easy. Every word or everything they're doing, has an end goal. It knows where it's going. They know why they're doing it, and that's why it's clicking for them.
Yes, exactly. That's 100% true. And I didn't know that at first when I was starting my business because they made everything look so easy. I thought it was going to be easy. They said it would be easy. And I believed everything that I was reading on the internet and everything that people were saying. And it took me a while to figure out which handful of mentors I was really going to continue following. It took me a while to figure out the what was the fluff on top and what was really the meat.
Yeah, and I think I'm just going to mention 3 areas that I think people or entrepreneurs can struggle with. One is, as you just said there, what mentor to pick, because some are better than others. 2, your mindset. You hear things about, a lot of it's our mindset, whether we can sell on a call and, whether we can scale up, whatever it is. And a third ceiling that sometimes entrepreneurs meet in growing a business is their money mindset. Mm-hmm. So from strategy, right? Say you're starting to kick on, you're starting to do well, it's starting to come together, but then sometimes they hit a ceiling. Like, there's a balance between mindset and strategy also, right, Bonnie?
Yes. And mindset is not something that you check off your list of things to do today.
No, it's a forever going thing.
It is ever going. Absolutely. Mindset, when you pick any of the biggest names in the business, it doesn't matter what type of entrepreneur you are, what type of business you have. Pick, some of the most successful people in that realm. They are people who literally work on their mindset every single day. Every day. The most successful people do all the same things. They might do them a little bit differently, but they basically do all of the same things every single day. And mindset is one of them. Yeah.
Picking a mentor, I think that can be tricky for people too, because some people look like they're further ahead than they are. Coaches specialize in special areas. Sometimes you buy an online program, but you don't quite get the same personal help that, so it's confusing out there. Like, if I'm starting from scratch, how am I best to invest in myself and my business?
That's a great question. And before I answer your question, I'm going to make a caveat out there. So caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. The best marketers will win.
Yeah.
Not the best, not the smartest people, not the best looking people, not the people who have the best products, programs, or services, the best marketers. They will win every single time. And they might not even have the most amount of money that they're putting into their Facebook ads. Doesn't mean that they spend the most, have the biggest budget. But the people who are the best marketers will win. Now, to answer your question, in my opinion, because there are so many things to buy out there, and I didn't buy any of them when I started because I had no money to invest. Mm-hmm. Ironically, that ended up to be a bonus for me. That ended up to be a blessing. I had people all around me that were spending thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars starting their business, and I started with nothing. I started with my cell phone and my Apple earbuds. That's how I started my business. I started with live streaming. I didn't even have a desk at home. I literally didn't even have a desk. And I tried live streaming on my couch. It was rather uncomfortable, so I started going to coffee shops. I figured really all I needed was coffee and the internet, and I could have a business. So that's how I started. But people all around me were starting their businesses with uniquely coded websites. I didn't have that. I've always created my websites all by myself. I don't know how to code. I can drag and drop, but I don't know how to code. And I'm not going to learn how to code because there's loads of platforms that you have it so you don't have to know how to code. So, I wasn't, people all around me were buying all these kinds of courses and spending, God, thousands and thousands of dollars right and left and center on all of these things. And they've all fallen off. And I didn't spend money because I didn't have it on all of those things. And I had to figure things out myself. Ironically, that became a blessing. It also took a long time. So it's a lot faster when you can find somebody who really knows what they're doing, or you can invest in a course or a program that really answers the questions that you have and fills the needs that you have. The problem with this is that people buy courses before they know who their audience is.
Yeah, I agree. Bonnie, we've had an amazing conversation. For anyone who's listening to this and they're starting from scratch, they really want to make it work, what would you say to them?
I would say that get out there and make yourself known. Get visible, whether it's behind a mic like we're doing right now on a podcast, or getting visible with your Facebook post or live streaming. And I would love to give your audience a free live streaming video and PDF. And you can get that on my website, bonnielfrank.com/7 reasons to live stream. And in PDF form and on the live stream, I give you 7 different ways that you can grow your business with live streaming. And that's exactly how I built my business from scratch.
Bonnie, I'm glad you shared that, because putting yourself out there can really accelerate your business, getting it going.
Absolutely. And it doesn't cost money. You don't have to throw money into ads. You can do it organically.
Yeah, and I think that's really important to stress. There's ways you can do it. You don't have to be piling on the money, because I think on the online world, there's many ways you can add up costs very quickly if you're not aware of all that. Thank you, Bonnie, for being here, and thank you for this conversation.
Thank you so much. I loved it.
Hey everyone, remember to join us in the Private Financial Freedom Podcast Facebook group with me, your host, Lorna Poole. This is a safe haven of like-minded wealth-getting go-getters who, like you, are on their journey to creating financial freedom in their life. This is where you and I can get intimate. I can give you the support and guidance to go from where you are now to where you want to be, developing your wealth mindset and creating your financial freedom life. Join at www.facebook.com/groups The Financial Freedom Podcast. You will see the links to this on the website. It's in the show notes, or type it into the Facebook group. All you have to type in is Financial Freedom Podcast, and you will see us there. Look forward to seeing you in the group. Take care. Thank you for joining us on the Financial Freedom Podcast, to creating wealth, investing, and developing your money mindset. To get started today on your journey, head on over to www.lornapoole.com and grab your free course, 5 Steps to Breaking Free from Your Poverty Mindset and Accelerating Your Journey to Financial Freedom. See you there.